Hello, Team Easy Dating Coach. So pumped for you to be here. Today's topic is when he stops chasing, do this and watch the magic begin. All right, I want to tell you the story about my client Lizzie. So Lizzie is amazing. She's in her 50s. She's gorgeous. She's got a 13-year-old. She's got an amazing job. She's a director at a Fortune 500. She makes great money. She's gorgeous, great personality, literally the whole package. So much so that when I was signing her up, I'm pretty sure I said this to her, but I was definitely thinking it. I'm like, man, if she becomes a client, doop, 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 layup. This is going to be a layup. Anyway, we get started in the process and we find this guy, Doug, who is phenomenal. This is probably like her third guy that she met. So I'm like, woo, that was easy. And she's like, he's fantastic. He lives in this great town right next to me. We had this amazing conversation. You know, he's really into health. He happens to be vegan, and, you know, she isn't vegan, but she loves that he's just like into fitness. She runs every day. So does he. They've got all these things in common. He's got a great job. And she's like, she comes back from the date and is talking to me. She's like, Mike, we might have found him. I'm like, oh, sweet. That was easy. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Like, let's see if he's consistent and see what happens. But that's great. I'm so happy. Let's keep going. So second date happens and she becomes even more smitten. Then third date happens and it's going great. But then we start uncovering the baggage. And our buddy Doug, who's still a great guy, starts unraveling that he is either separated or just divorced. I can't remember the specific details. And what happened was he was madly in love with his wife, was his best friend, and apparently she came out of the closet and is into women. And he's devastated. Like, this was his best friend. He thought he was going to spend his life with this woman. And he only found out a few months ago. Lizzie and I are talking about this. And I'm like, Lizzie, what's the plan? She's like, well, you know, this is the phase one guy who is a mess. I've got to move on. I'm like, great. She's like, you know, Mike, I'm really discouraged from this whole online dating thing. Do you mind if we take 3 weeks off? I said, I need a little time off. I'm like, perfect. Let's do it. Let's rebuild the oxytocin. We're going to hop back on. And so she takes 3 weeks off. We get back together. And she is a little tentative to tell me. But, you know, no judgment here. Just give it to me, folks. She goes, you know, I saw Doug 3 more times. I'm like, okay. Why'd you see him? And she didn't quite tell me, but I'm going to tell you what the deal is. Lizzie saw Doug because this was the first time in a long time where she felt a connection to a guy. And her heart was like, oh, I really like him. And then her brain started rationalizing. She goes, you know what? When I got divorced, I was a mess. And I kind of want to be his support system, and I want to be there for him. And I know that Lizzie happens to be a people pleaser, which I am too. So she's like, I just want to be there for him, and I don't want to step aside. So if you're watching this right now, go in the comments. Do you see a problem with this? Just give me a yes or what your explanation of it is in your head at this moment. Hit pause and put it in the comments. So I go to Lizzie. We need to stop people pleasing. And maybe you've heard of this meme, but whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. Let me say it again. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. And so since she's going with her emotions, since she's deciding to spend time with him, she is choosing an unavailable man. So the reason I'm making this video is when he stops chasing, do this and watch the magic begin. This guy Doug is not chasing. At some point, he stopped chasing because he's not available, and he knows Lizzie's a queen, and Lizzie's high caliber. And the magic that I want for all of you is the magic of making this guy disappear. And the magic of coming back to yourself and saying, hey, what am I going to do for me? So when you hire me as a coach, all I do is like this rhino right there, I protect you. And my job is to make sure no man messes with you and you get a great guy. I want every woman watching this to be her own rhino and stop people pleasing and getting what you deserve and what you want. So if you deserve and you want this life partnership with an amazing man that's available, then stop choosing to be with men that in your head you know are not. Isn't that magical? Now, fast forward, and you're in a spot where you're not people pleasing, where you know your worth, where you know what you want, and you make men disappear that are not at the value you deserve, you're going to get exactly what you want. All right, guys, if this resonated with you, go down there, and if you want to figure out what coaching with me could be like, go sign up for a strategy call. Would love to talk to you. Otherwise, I love all of you. See you next video. Oh, and I'll put videos up there and there so you can keep watching.